What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Aaron Glenn getting a second interview with the New York Jets and the chance of a potential hire coming soon. The 32 names are getting whittled down finally, as Aaron Glenn was announced to be the first person to receive a second interview with the New York Jets for one of their GM or head coaching jobs. Aaron Glenn will obviously be interviewing for the Jets head coaching position, and that will take place tomorrow. He will then go to the Saints on Wednesday to interview in person there. Something of note, no other interviews have been announced yet at this time. What I mean by that is there haven't been any second interviews announced outside of Aaron Glenn. We will keep a close eye to see if we get any new information either later today or tomorrow morning about this process. But Aaron Glenn, first up, who is going to get a second crack at it. It's been reported that Aaron Glenn is highly interested in the Jets job. In fact, he would prefer the Jets job over anywhere else. And there is strong interest from the Jets side of things as well. Now, a question that I asked in both the title and the beginning of this video, could a hiring be coming soon? And what that leads me to think is, are the Jets going to hire a head coach, whether it be Aaron Glenn or someone else, we never know, before they actually hire a general manager? For full transparency, I don't like that process. I don't think it's a good process. It's a little different with Mike Vrabel, with someone who is a more proven, established head football coach in this league. Aaron Glenn is getting his first head coaching opportunity. Dan Quinn spoke to the media today, and he was saying that he fully expects both Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson to receive head coaching jobs in this cycle. And it's clear that obviously that the Jets are very in on Aaron Glenn. But this is someone who's going to be a first-time head coach, and a first-time head coach going to pick a general manager, that doesn't necessarily seem like a necessity. Like, I don't think it's something that they have to do. And it makes me nervous that they're going to go back to the GM reporting to the owner and the head coach reporting to the owner, which is, again, that triangle, the two down here, the GM and the head coach on the same level and the owner up top, which I don't think is the way to do that. I think it should go owner, GM, head coach in a straight line, not a triangle, a straight up line with a chain of command where the general manager, or maybe even someone over the general manager, a head of football operations, running the show. Instead, there's a chance that it could go back to both the GM and the head coach being on the same level, which I don't know if that's a good idea. Because God forbid, I hope this isn't the case. I want Aaron Glenn to be good, but if 2 years from now the Jets have back-to-back losing seasons and Aaron Glenn's like, I don't know, has 7 wins in 2 years, the general manager is going to go, well, you can't fire me. I didn't hire Aaron Glenn. Let me hire whoever, my guy to be the head coach here. And then it sets a precedent of your GM and head coach not being on the same timeline. You want your GM and head coach, and most likely quarterback as well, all on the same timeline. And I think that would be doing things out of order. I think the Jets should hire the general manager first, and the GM should be the one, along with everyone else, in on the hire of Aaron Glenn. Now, that's just a theory. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's going to go. But this is expected to be a very busy week for the New York Jets. After the Lions were eliminated, surprisingly, on Saturday night, it allowed Aaron Glenn to do in-person interviews. Jets acted quickly. They're going to get to speak to him first. I think I would be surprised if Aaron Glenn was hired tomorrow. I think he is going to take multiple interviews in different spots. I think, you get to this point, you owe it to yourself to, talk everywhere and see, what it's going to be like in each situation. But things starting to heat up for the New York Jets after it was a very long search to come up with the 17 different head coaching names, the 15 different general manager names, and now it's starting to get whittled down. So I'm very interested to see who else on this list, whether it be for the head coaching position or the general manager position, make it to a second round of interviews. So we'll keep an eye on that.
A few moments later.
We have an update to the story. Right as I was about to hit publish, we got some other news, so I figured I would put the pin in and come back and talk about it. So the Jets not only will be interviewing Aaron Glenn for the head coaching job on Tuesday, they will also have a second interview with Lance Newmark, who spent a ton of time in Detroit. He was with the Detroit Lions for 26 seasons before he joined the Washington staff last year. The connection between Aaron Glenn and Lance Newmark is an obvious one, as Glenn was with the Detroit Lions for the last few years. Newmark was there forever. Newmark's most recent role with the Detroit Lions was the senior director of player personnel, and he helped oversee both the college and pro scouting operations. He also assisted with the weekly management of the Lions roster and assisted Lions executive vice president and GM Brad Holmes with the implementation of Holmes' scouting vision throughout the entire personnel department. So it looks like the Jets might be cherry picking from the Detroit Lions staff and disregard what I said earlier in this video where I talked about the Jets hiring a head coach before hiring a general manager. I don't like that idea. I explained why. But if you're pairing these guys together and this is going to be your group, they've worked together. They should be on the same page and on the same timeline. And that's a good thing. Now I'm done. Thanks, guys. I'm Matt. I'll catch you next time.